I we had a call today with Business by Design with Ashley and Simone, and I noticed that our responses to the group, it was a discussion, it was a Q&A, that our responses were really direct, really spontaneous and straightforward. I noticed that there was quite a lot of energy and intensity, in the call. And after the call, Ashley texted me and she said, "Was I too direct? Do you feel like I was projecting on this specific person?" And I said, "No, I didn't. That was not something that I felt." And I also knew that some of the things that I had said were quite direct, but there's in me, I felt completely certain that these were things that needed to be said in the space, and that I'm just putting on the table, putting into the light the things that we need to look at. And I wanted to really express to her as well that for me, when you have people that are setting up a container, whether it is a course container or is some kind of gathering at your house or it's plant medicine, it's the people that intentionally set up the container. It's like it's their playground. And then of course, as people come in, we co-create in that container. It becomes an energetic field or shamanic field where we're co-creating. And still, the people that set up the container, it's their home, and they get to guide the energy. They get to play with that field and invite others to play with them. So for me, when you set something up, you want to be yourself. You want to be in your true authority and speak from that place. And it's not a place of then asking yourself, did I do the of course it's good to always question, and what can be done better, what can be done, what is more smooth, but at the same time, knowing, trusting that whatever you gave into the middle of that container, whatever you put in the circle, trusting that's it is a reason for that. And if somebody gets triggered, being so much in your truth so you can handle that, so that you know that you were in your integrity. And if somebody comes to you, you can also respond to that from your heart, because there's no other reason, there's no other way, there's no other place that you need to respond from. And that for me is really important. It's important that we don't diminish ourselves inside our own house. If you create something, it's so that you can swim freely in that container, not holding back. I am so tired of, people holding back their gifts and their genius. And many of us are splenic, many of us are sacral. It is in the now. And maybe if you are emotional and you feel it, or if you have an open throat, you feel pressure to talk, but it doesn't feel completely true. Watch that. Give yourself a little bit of time. Come back to your body and then respond. And I was also feeling into the fact that we are right now, the transit is in the 16 too. And when we speak about the sphere of relating, which is one of the coming spheres in the gene keys, that's where I have where the sun is today, 16.2. And the second line is the line of feedback in this particular position. So we already know that the 16 is really versatile, and it's gonna kind of like just do it and then figure out the details later. That's the energy of the 16. It's like it's very enthusiastic, very versatile. And the second line of feedback, we can think, in this case, we can think about the lines as chakras. And the second line is the sacral chakra. It's not really aware of itself. It is that spontaneity. So feedback comes from the sacral. Feedback comes even before we we come up in the fourth chakra and the heart. It's like this just direct, spontaneous kind of mirroring with the other. I'm giving you feedback. Here it is. And then as we go through all the lines in the specific sphere of relating, we are going to learn to include all of us. So the first line is recognizing the dissonance. The second line is that sacral feedback or response. And the third line is assimilating whatever is in the field, who was triggered, what's going on. The fourth line is more coming back into the heart and being able to share, given everything that's there, given the feedback, given the dissonance, given having had to like just be with it and not escaping. Then there can be a more heartfelt sharing. And then there is a more like a crystallization. There is more of an understanding, you can say, of what's going on. That's more the fifth line. It's that practical, the understanding of what's going on. And then the sixth line is the gratitude for the process. So that's what we are in right now. And I can feel it for me in the 16, which I have in that sphere, and that feedback. And it's almost like, since the sun is shining on this for me, it's where I'm having this feeling. You know, you get in your own house, you get to give feedback. I'm not saying don't include the heart, don't include the understanding, don't include the gratitude. I say include it all, but also trust your gut feeling. Also trust, what you are here to give to the world, what you're here to put in the middle of that circle that you're a part of, because that's valuable. Genius, our whole individual circuitry is that genius of the knowing in the moment of what comes through you. And we can wait forever to find the right circumstance and the right people. Or part of it is also, if you are creating a space and people come into your space, don't tie yourself down. Don't put a mask on and be somebody else. Be you, because people by the resonance of frequency of energy, people have gathered around you. So be grateful for that. And that's also, there is a link between the 16 and the 45 in the amino acids in the codon. So here we have that codon ring of prosperity, and the 45 is that gathering. So it's like that's when you have the versatility to create a space where people can come together and be versatile. That's the gathering together in order to be versatile together, in order to create together, in order to be in synergy together, in order to come into communion and trust whatever needs to come up. For me, that's mastery. Not being afraid of anything, but just being there, assimilating and co-creating. So thank you.